There is a fire burning somewhere near you right now. A candle, maybe. A fireplace. A bonfire in a garden at the edge of a suburb. Oh, and if you are near it, you are watching it. Not because you need to. Not because anything is about to happen. The flame is contained. The night is fine. You have nowhere to be. And yet your eyes keep returning to it. The same way they have been returning to it your entire life. The same way every human being who has ever lived has returned to it. No one taught you to do this. No one taught anyone. Across every culture, every continent, every era of recorded history, humans sit beside fire and watch. The question is not whether this is strange. It clearly is. The question is what it means. The standard answer is evolutionary. Fire meant survival. For hundreds of thousands of years, a fire that went out meant cold, darkness, and predators. So the humans who kept watching, who felt an unease when the flames dropped low, who woke in the night to feed the coals, those humans lived. The ones who wandered off probably did not. What we have inherited, on this account, is vigilance, a residual watchfulness that was once perfectly rational and now runs on in the background of modern life like software, written for a machine that no longer exists. It is a clean explanation, satisfying in the way that evolutionary explanations often are. And like most clean explanations, it is only partially correct. In 2014, anthropologist Christopher Lynn published research that suggested something more specific was happening. When people watched a real fire, not a recording, not a photograph, but actual flickering flame, their blood pressure dropped measurably, not a little, consistently across subjects, across sitting lengths. The longer they watched, the more pronounced the effect. This is not what vigilance looks like. Vigilance raises blood pressure. Vigilance sharpens attention and prepares the body for action. What Lynn was observing looked less like a survival reflex and more like the opposite, a deliberate neurological downshift, a system moving from alert to something closer to rest. Fire, it appeared, was not making our ancestors anxious. It was making them calm, which forces a different question entirely. Not, why did we fear losing fire? But, why did fire become the signal that it was safe to stop fearing everything else? Consider what fire meant in practical terms to a group of early humans camped for the night. The fire did not just warm them. It marked a perimeter. Predators stayed beyond the light. Darkness, which had been lethal, was pushed back to the edge of the world. Inside the ring of firelight, for the first time in the long history of animal life on this planet, a creature could genuinely relax. Not sleep. That came later, and even then, in shifts. But rest. Think. Know. Speak. This is the context in which human language almost certainly developed its social depth. Anthropologist Polly Wisner analyzed recorded conversations around fires in Botswana's Kalahari and found something striking. Daytime conversations among the Ju-Hoan Bushmen were dominated by economic matters, complaints, plans, disputes. Nighttime conversations around fire were different. They were filled with stories, performance, speculation about people and the world, the kinds of conversations that build shared identity and transmit culture. Fire did not just protect early humans from the dark. It created the conditions in which humans became human, in which language grew from transaction into narrative, and a group of individuals became a community with a past and a future. The calm you feel watching a flame is not the absence of survival instinct. It may be the deepest expression of it. None of this explains why it still works. We have electric light. We have central heating. We have every conceivable substitute for every practical function fire once served. And yet the candle industry generates billions of dollars a year. Fireplace channels, videos of nothing but burning logs, with no commentary, no narrative, nothing to learn, have been watched hundreds of millions of times. ASMR accounts built around the sound of crackling wood have audiences in the millions. We do not watch footage of our heating systems. We do not find comfort in the sound of a boiler. There is something specifically and irreducibly about fire that the brain recognizes and responds to, in a way that no functional replacement has managed to replicate. Daniel Fessler, a professor of anthropology at UCLA, has argued that humans may be born with what he calls a prepared learning instinct around fire. Not an innate behavior exactly, but an innate readiness to acquire one. Children across cultures are drawn to fire before they understand it. They learn to manage it faster than almost any other dangerous thing. And once the relationship is established, it persists with an intensity that has no obvious modern utility. We are in some sense a species that has been practicing its relationship with fire for so long that the practice has become part of what we are. So you sit beside the fire and you watch it. The flame moves. It will keep moving in exactly this way regardless of whether you watch it. Nothing you do will change it. And yet your eyes return, and your shoulders drop. And something in you that is very old and very quiet decides that for now, the world is manageable. There is a version of this story in which that feeling is just a misfire. An ancient circuit running in an environment it was never designed for. And there is another version in which it is something closer to the truth, in which the fire is not fooling your nervous system, but correctly informing it that you are not alone, that the darkness is held back, that there is warmth here, and that it is permitted for this moment to simply be still. 400,000 years is a long time to learn something. It may also be a long time to be right.